Thanks, guys. So this morning, 5 agencies made friend requests to the Education Oversight Committee. Now, there were a couple of different things that were discussed during the meeting, such as teacher salaries, as well as new and up-to-date versions of textbooks and other instructional materials. As the football season for the Gamecocks ended on Saturday, many fans are upset about how the season unfolded. Many fans are calling for a hard reset on the football program, while some are even calling to fire head coach Will Muschamp. 9 inmates separated by cages wall to wall for 1 hour a day. But when the Academy of Hope program came in, not only did they open up the space, but they opened up their minds. Every item that you see here is donated. Proceeds from the auction will go to the Prisma Health Midlands Foundation, which will help to support programs and services at the Prisma Health Midlands Children's Hospital. For 9 months, David has been using these to capture the beauty of this. Here at Benedict, students have been practicing hard to put on a great show for their coronation. It not only speaks to their hard work, but for the pride that they have in their school. The Greek Festival has been happening for 33 years, and each year more and more people come. For vendors, this means working months in advance in order to keep up with the crowd.
Being in the penitentiary is not a happy place to be. You try to strive every day to be a better person.
Desolate, lonely, dark.
Just imagine a man being taken from one cell, been in there all day, going into a cage. That'll traumatize you.
Hope was born in these places. People came to fill the voids, and inmates feel like they are somebody. Opportunities to change became available because of one program. 9 inmates separated wall to wall by cages for an hour a day. But when the Academy of Hope program came in, not only did they open up the space, but they opened up their minds.
This program was created after the riot that happened and we lost 7 people. And the issue was we don't want to lose any more people. So the question was, how do we get people to not hurt each other? And that's why we're here. If you first looked at Andre Norman, you wouldn't believe that he was once in these men's shoes. I spent 14 years in state and federal prison. I used to be a prison gang leader. I've been convicted twice of attempted murder while in prison, spent over 2 years in solitary confinement, 2.5 years being transferred around the country to 9 different states. I understand what the men are understanding. I've lived this. And since I lived it, now I can teach it. He is the founder of the Academy of Hope. We spoke to the men. The men said that they wanted something. There's not a problem with leadership. It's just a problem with communication. SEDC wants to be helpful to these men. These men want to be helped. They just speak 2 different languages. Change happens over time. And the staff at the South Carolina Department of Corrections and the Academy of Hope are invested in finding common ground. In just 5 months, change could be seen and felt everywhere. Since this program's been here at Lee County, we've had over 50 men transfer through the program, and in the 5 months we've been open, we've had 0 staff assaults, 0 inmate assaults, and 0 weapons found on our unit. The Academy of Hope focuses on inmates as people, not property.
Nobody wants to be, it don't matter how much bad you do. Sometimes you gotta capture the people by showing them that you love them.
It has inmates lean on each other for support.
You got people that look up to us. You got people that look up to us out there and in here. So the role we play can't be a pretend role. It has to be a role that's real.
It's almost unthinkable that rival gang leaders would call each other brother.
This right here, this is brotherly love right here. All the way around the corner. We have our ups and downs, but we learn how to balance it. We learn how to be men and say, hey, brother, come here, let me holler at you. I apologize if I did something wrong. Forgive me. Boom, it's over. That's how we do things up here.
What was once a place where people go to do their time in solitude has now become a place where real life skills are taught, and unlikely strangers become family. For Carolina News, I'm Leland Williams. 'Tis the season for joy, love, and giving back. The Festival of Trees fundraising event hosted by the Prisma Health Midlands Foundation is underway, and everyone is in the holiday spirit. Ashley Dusenberry, who is part of the Prisma Health Midlands Foundation, says that it's important to know the impact your donations can have on your community.
Many people from our community come and they realize what this is all about, and it's really about patients and families who are treated at our local children's hospital.
There are at least 150,000 patient visits at the Children's Hospital every year. With that comes a need to have the best ways to treat them. So, the Festival of Trees event was created as a silent auction where members of the community come together and bid on Christmas trees to take home for the holidays. Every item that you see here is donated. Proceeds from the auction will go to the Prisma Health Midlands Foundation, which will help to support programs and services at the Prisma Health Midlands Children's Hospital. Services such as the new fully operational concussion center, or even just top-notch care for when it hits close to home. Dr. Jeff Holloway, who is a pediatric doctor at the Children's Hospital, is grateful for events like this.
My son got injured and we had to go to the ER. Just a minor thing, but can be very intimidating, and having all the people at the Children's Hospital, the ER, help us out made it very easy.
Festival of Trees is for the kids. And no matter how big or small your donation is, all of it goes to better treatment options.
When you hear about something like that concussion clinic for kids and athletes and high school students, you know that how you contributed through Festival of Trees played a significant part in that actually being able to happen on the hospital side.
Happy holidays, and remember to give back. For Carolina News, I'm Leland Wood.
He is now live at the State House. Leland, what changes might teachers see next year?
Thanks, guys. So this morning, 5 agencies made fund requests to the Education Oversight Committee. Now, there were a couple of different things that were discussed during the meeting, such as teacher salaries, as well as new and up-to-date versions of textbooks and other instructional materials. I was able to talk to Ms. Dana Yao, who is the South Carolina Deputy Director of the EOC. While we sat down, we were able to discuss how these requests are made and how they're handled.
The instructional materials really impact what the students are receiving. Those are really big because that's, kind of where the rubber hits the road with some of these students. And we want them to get certifications and certificates that will, be of value to them if they decide not to get a college degree.
5 agencies presented their budget requests in front of the Education Oversight Committee. The largest request coming from the Department of Education.
We believe this may need to be increased to $10 million because that would contemplate additional districts and or groups being able to apply in the future.
It is expected that these requests will be met due to a projection that more money will be available to give out.
So we have made a request before to both, I believe it came to the EOC, but I know it came to the General Assembly, for a learning management system.
This means teachers will be better equipped to teach, and students will be able to transfer into the workforce much easier.
To do a better job of continuing to work with principals and continuing to work with our school districts, but also making sure that the teachers are very clear on how they can access these things and that we can deliver professional development in a timely fashion.
However, these are just requests being made. The decision to grant the monies to the agencies is left to the General Assembly. Now, the full committee meets in December. There, they will decide who goes to the General Assembly. The General Assembly is who decides who gets the money and how much of it they get. They will then meet in January. So for now, we will have to wait. Reporting live from the State House, this has been Leland Williams. Back to you guys in the studio. Thanks, guys. As the football season for the Gamecocks ended on Saturday, many fans are upset about how the season unfolded. Many fans are calling for a hard reset on the football program, while some are even calling to fire head coach Will Muschamp. However, Athletics Director Ray Tanner and President Bob Caslen are showing good faith in Coach Muschamp and his decision-making, especially after some of the changes he's made to his coaching staff.
We've struggled this year, just call it like it is, and there's a lot of different areas that are at fault, and it needs to get fixed, and that's what I'm going to do.
After suffering a monstrous loss to Clemson for the 6th year in a row, the Gamecocks are struggling to find their place. Almost immediately after the game on Saturday, news broke that 2 coaches had been fired and the offensive coordinator demoted.
If you ask an area recruiter to give a negative about South Carolina, they're going to say that Muschamp has struggled to find that perfect guy, that perfect fit to run his offense.
Wes Mitchell, who is a sports reporter for Gamecock Central, says to remember that relationships between coaches and players play a vital role in the dynamic of the team.
A lot of people forget the aspect of continuity and how important that is to recruiting. You know, a lot of times recruiting process, it starts 2-3 years out. So these high school kids have relationships with the current coaching staff. So if you just completely wipe out half of your coaching staff, then you're losing all those relationships.
Firing these coaches is a step that Coach Muschamp is willing to take in a direction that he feels is necessary for the program. Some names are being passed around to fill these vacant spots. However, nothing official has come from Gamecock Athletics. Later on in the show, Madison Thiel will have the rest of your sports. But for now, live from Williams-Brice, Leland Williams, Carolina News.